speak about one man, and unfortunately for all of us, that one man is Donald Trump.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you've been following the news, Chris, but Donald Trump is on a tour of Asia. So he went to Malaysia, he went to Japan, he's been to South Korea. He's been doing this while, of course, the government is shut down and still shut down, which is, wild. It's
Where's
a
he getting the
wild
fuel
thing.
for Air Force One? Way.
Seriously, seriously, like there's no money for SNAP benefits. He is going to be starving children now. By the way, as of
Yeah.
November 1st, they are going to stop. 1/8 of America relies on food stamps to get enough food, and they're just going to have to go hungry, kids especially. So they don't have to. By the way, like this
No,
is
no, they don't have to. He can
yeah.
help. He can undo that. They can actually come back to Washington because, as you know, all
Oh,
the
that's true.
Republicans have
Hmm.
left DC and left DC weeks ago. So they
Yeah.
have no interest in reopening the government
Well, the
because,
thing is, if they did, they'd have to release the Epstein files. And of course, starving children in order to protect pedophiles is just job number one for Mike Johnson,
well,
Speaker of the House.
that's
So,
all that matters to him.
yeah. But the thing is, it's not even about that. It's not even a situation where if they would just come back and negotiate, they could reopen the government and make sure the kids can eat. No, 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 Chris. Because you see, the government agency that runs the Department of Agriculture, which runs food stamps, right?
Yeah,
They have $5 billion set aside as a contingency fund
five
for
billion.
$5 billion
That's
precisely
quite a
for
lot.
such a situation. Yeah. And it is for emergencies. And I think this would certainly qualify, right?
Like this. Yeah,
Also, Donald Trump, he has forbidden them to spend that money.
yeah.
So explicitly, even though they have the legal authority and they have the money, he is saying, do not feed children.
Do not
Let
feed
those children
children.
starve because this gets me political power. And so that's fun.
And he's doing that all while traveling across Asia.
And he's doing it. And what's great is what he has been doing when he was in Asia. So you may have seen the video of him doing a little dance when he landed in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Um, see, I was expecting more, because I read the news reports and it was like, Donald Trump dancing on the tarmac and whatnot, and like, people were impressed by Donald Trump's moves, and and if you've ever seen Donald Trump dance, moves are not a phrase you would ever you. That's just not to call it dancing is already being exceptionally charitable because
That's
that is a man.
ridiculous.
That man has no rhythm.
That's ridiculous. He's
That
won
man
every
has.
dance contest he's ever been in, and you know that. Stop spreading fake news. Fake news.
You're right. Probably indeed. He's also the best boxer in America. Anyway,
Best boxer in America.
so yeah, so but his lack of dance skills aside, something much more interesting happened when he went to Japan, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so right, so he's it's part of the ceremony where he's like, he's being given a tour of this room, which is lined with like soldiers who are playing music and whatnot. There's a Japanese and American flag there. There are dignitaries standing around, and Donald Trump just kind of like lumbers in his normal way,
Yeah.
but then just sort of seems to be entirely unsure on what it is that he's doing. He kind of like at one point just walks right on past he salutes the
Yeah.
flags as he walks past them. Meanwhile, the Japanese prime minister, first female Japanese prime minister in history, by the way,
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
first leader of Japan since like the 900s.
Yeah.
This is a big deal, is what I'm saying. But so he leaves her behind as she's like bowing in respect to the flags, which is clearly what the protocol is supposed to be. And then she kind of has to like go after him, and like a soldier comes up to like direct him, and he's just sort of like walking around with this glazed look in his eyes. I don't think he's well, Chris. And
Ah.
he admitted offhand that he'd had an MRI at his recent physical, which is not
Yeah,
normal.
you don't normally get put into the magnetic resonating
Yet,
imager
right?
because,
That's
they want to take your blood pressure.
yeah, no, that's when you're looking for a thing that you think is wrong or could be wrong. You're ruling something in, you're ruling something out, but there is a potential problem. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's not great, is
There,
what I'm
there's
saying, right?
I've heard as well doctors saying that like men basically once you hit a certain age, there's no way you can have a perfect MRI as
Yeah.
he's claimed to have. He
Well,
claims
of
to have
course.
had a perfect MRI because he's perfect, right?
He is still bragging about the fucking dementia test he took, Chris. He is still bragging that he remembered how to say man, person, woman, TV, camera, like like that is some big thing that it was like a really, such a hard test and
He
he
nailed it.
managed to pass it and he nailed it, right? He was so great
Fucking
and
nailed it.
AOC could never pass a dementia test that he now thinks is an IQ test because he is the dumbest man alive. But that's, again, neither here nor there. Now, I want to bring out the really important thing that happened, Chris.
Okay.
Donald Trump got a crown.
That's right.
Yep. South
Yeah.
Korea, in addition to welcoming him to the soothing strains of YMCA as he stepped off the plane,
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
they
Okay.
gave him a, a freaking historic crown, one of eight from the Silla period,
Good
which
God.
is yeah, which is over 1,000 years ago. Like this it is big. It is a big geometric looking crown, and like I really want to believe that the president of South Korea is just like trolling Trump a little bit in a friendly, joshing way. But I
Mm.
think what he's really doing is trolling America by saying, "Oh, you want no kings? Well, now he's got a crown. Fuck
I
you."
I view that a little bit differently. So I view this Asia trip because of all the tariffs that Trump is leveling upon Asia,
Hmm.
upon the world. But there were supposed to be 100%, tariffs on China. There's supposed to be, these massive tariffs on all sorts of Asia to try to, cajole them into doing what we want.
Hmm.
And also they were completely random and without reason, which means that even if you agree to help them or do what we say, they can just keep the tariffs or they can raise them or whatever. You've already agreed. You
Hmm.
already proven that you're not going to resist. But
Yeah.
um, I think that world leaders are not trolling him. I think that they are playing to his incredibly fragile ego. If you give
Hmm.
Trump an ancient crown, he's not going to think, hey, they just said no kings in America and they just gave you a crown. That's a weird combination. I think he's going to think,
Hmm.
finally, finally, this is what I deserve and you should be paying tribute to me. And I want to share with you something that I came across today. Now, I don't,
Hmm.
there's a person on my Facebook feed who is hyper MAGA. This
Yep.
guy is 100% like, he shares probably 15 things a day from, you know, um,
Hmm.
magaplus.com, Trump is always right.com,
Of
these
course. Yeah. Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
made up, like hyper partisan sites that are made up either by MAGA or Russia to
Yeah.
just keep on feeding you with nonsense. And he
Look,
said
it takes
that,
a lot to produce bullshit. Okay, AI
oh yeah,
can only do so much these days.
AI can only do so much,
Yeah.
but these people also get paid tons of money because this is what they do for a living. He
Hmm.
posted this thing that was basically like that said, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it was like
Mm.
October 27th, 2025, the day America became an empire. And this guy goes on to like talk about how he's like, basically China has the rare earth and
Mm.
minerals, and we need that to keep our economy and society going. So
Yeah.
Trump has basically mob ruled, these other
Mm.
countries, Malaysia, Thailand, and China, and like
Mm.
basically saying, we're going to get this deal with Malaysia, we're going to get this deal with Thailand, and then China is theoretically isolated. And the post and the post goes on to say that basically we did like a deal with China isn't a truce, it is capitulation, the end of globalization. These people are paying tribute to Trump. This is how he put it, tribute to Trump. And this is coming from a place called No Weapons Ministries. And so I went and started looking at like
Wow.
the
Okay.
feed, and the feed is all,
Hmm.
praise Jesus, Jesus is king, blah blah blah, lion, also Trump
Hmm.
is king. And
Yeah.
I'm like, is
Trump is
this
Jesus, Chris.
no, 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 Jesus is Jesus and Trump knows Jesus. So like are they like they're tying these two things together because obviously the news out of China will be that Trump
Hmm.
and China have come to some kind of agreement to not ruin both economies.
Mm.
But like in ruining the economy, it's going to be hard for Japanese Chinese workers, and it's going to be a disaster for American consumers,
Yeah.
right? So,
Hmm.
but the point that I'm seeing here is like, are they finally like we're getting ready to open the door to say, yes, there will be a third term. Yes, we will never have elections again because we are no longer a democracy. We're no
Yeah.
longer a republic. We are an empire, and this is only
Yeah.
like Christian nationalists, right? Like these are Christian extremists,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Like,
the Christian nationalists, like, I mean, they have been very open about the fact that they do not think that democracy is a good thing. They do not think that America is a liberal democracy. They do not think that the Constitution can be understood in any way that limits their power. I
yeah,
mean, they've been pretty open about that for like 30 years now.
that's
It's
true.
just that they were such a small segment of, Christianity in America that, they were just not really a threat until they managed to become like part of the governing junta effectively.
Yeah, well, they wormed their way in
Hmm.
to to the Republican Party because obviously they weren't going to have any take in the Democrats because
Hmm.
you need to sometimes have proof for what you believe in. And
Hmm.
like this is what's on my feed now every day. And like when you look at what's on Twitter and basically on Twitter it is it's just right-wing stuff, right? Like MAGA, 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 MAGA porn, MAGA, MAGA porn, MAGA,
Yeah.
MAGA porn. And it's a
The
perfect like
foundation of any healthy media diet,
but
clearly.
it's a perfect loop for a young boy, right? Get angry
Right.
about MAGA. Oops, didn't think you should. It's never like full on. It's
Hmm.
like, oops, saw that. Now you could, it's like page three, right? You're
Right.
just gonna
Yeah.
consist. It drives engagement, and the reason I bring it up in the case of Asia is because like that's obviously their take on it from a completely unqualified, just
Yeah.
random take on it, but it was so much like, are you ready for like the change? It's time,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Like those people, those idiots for the rapture, that the freaking rapture was coming and they sold all their stuff.
Yeah. And the thing is, what's really great about rapture cults, Chris, is that when the rapture fails to happen, it doesn't lead to people leaving the rapture cults. It,
Exactly.
yeah. No, it's, just obviously someone mistranslated the date. That's
Got
all that
the
happens.
did the they did the math wrong again. I should have
Exactly.
carried the one and put the
No.
pi over the ethereal H.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's the thing. If you don't round to heaven, Chris, then you're rounding down to hell.
You
Yeah.
well,
Mm,
I
yeah.
couldn't have said it better myself. But yeah,
Thank you.
this Asia trip. I mean, like that the Trump wandering around completely dazed and confused. And
Yeah.
I don't know how it was covered in America. I know that on my other social media feeds, it was pretty prominent
Mm.
that, Trump was,
It's kind of hard to miss. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, I know. For the record, I do think that, like, okay, so the media may talk about him as like a world bestriding colossus who is like politically all powerful, right? But he is deeply unpopular. Like he is one of the least popular presidents at this point in his presidency. That I mean, okay, so he's now minus 18 in the tracking polls, right?
yeah,
This is lower than he ever achieved in his first term, and he lost re-election by 7 million votes in his first term, right?
yeah,
So, yeah. So this is a big thing. He is way more unpopular than Biden was at this point, and this is after the point in his presidency where Biden had withdrawn from Afghanistan and his support in the polls had collapsed, right? So
yeah,
like he is deeply unpopular. The polling on the White House demolition is exactly what you think it'd be. 61% of America thinks that this is bad, and only 25% thinks it is good. And that 25%, Chris, that's the lower limit of his support. When everything collapses,
yeah,
when he's absolutely when it's clear to everyone that he's a damn squib and that the attempted conservative revolution has failed,
yeah,
25% of the country will still be calling him the Messiah. Like
yeah.
there, that's it. That's how you know when he's hit rock bottom. When he's at 25% of the polls.
When he's at 20, you mean, because right now he's at what he's negative, it's
Well,
negative
that's it.
18, but that's,
Yeah, -8. So if you were going to split that exactly, that would be like 51 to 40. Well, 52 to 42, right? So it'd be
right,
about
right,
42%, and that's assuming that there's no I don't know people in the polling, which
right,
clearly
of
is not the
course.
case. And I could look that up if it were not supremely lazy, because the
Or
internet's
just,
right
I
here,
mean,
Chris.
yeah, the
Yeah,
internet's right here, but we got other things to do. But
exactly. So
yeah,
you
it's
check it out yourselves.
you check it
So
out
yeah.
yourselves. Always question, always check, and always check the sources that actually correct. Use ground news. Uh,
Yes, exactly. And oh God.
we are not
Yeah, okay.
sponsored.
We are not sponsored, but maybe if we keep saying it, Maybe it'll
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, who knows?
Maybe they'll be like, you know what? We should give these two doctors who are not doctors,
That's right.
and we should give them a leg up. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
we can keep
this
talking about this
we can
forever.
keep talking about this forever. There's so much more to talk about.